and I can't wait to see what is next, what is in store really as we get closer to TI5. So again, let me just rehash what the hell it is and what my mission is. If this is for the sake of the recording, when I repost this on YouTube, for those who have no idea what it is that we talk about here, Dota 2, the love of Dota 2, and the Texas area specifically that loves the hell out of this game, and what it can bring to community who are interested in playing organized leagues. My name is Pete, or RB Pete, and I stream on Twitch, and I provide commentary for a lot of these amateur Dota 2 leagues. So far, for 4 different leagues, I've been giving some commentary to. Been playing Dota 2 since back in the day, back when it was Dota All-Stars, when you were waiting in that queue for like 30 minutes before you finally connected to a game, and that was kind of a wow, many hours of good times being put into Dota All-Stars back in the day. So coming from a very solid understanding of just the overall mechanics of the game and composition and whatever, and it just decided needed to take it to the next level. So with other like-minded individuals who love the idea of competitive Dota, organized competitive Dota, because the trolls would just get out of fucking hand. And you'd play in pub games, and you're feeling optimistic, and you're like, I'm going to get some teammates that are going to work with me, and they are going to cooperate, and we're going to be able to communicate, and oh shit, this dude starts speaking Peruvian, and you're like, oh man. Instantly, it's going to be a difficult game unless somehow he's willing to work with you, with the signals that you can provide in game. So the organized leagues can help alleviate some of that inherent miscommunication that exists in the public realm of Dota 2. And so a couple friends of mine and who were pretty much local to the area got together and decided that some organized Dota 2 play was needed. There were enough players for it, and we wanted to kind of expand on that momentum that was there and allow the players to kind of connect with other players and find out if they're right for a team. You never know. You got to try it out. It's not for everybody. There's some people who come in here and they want to take charge and they want to be a leader and they just want to call the shots, but they forget to listen, in that process. And we got to listen to each other, and most importantly, listen to ourselves occasionally. We forget that, if we stop and listen to the way that we communicate, we might be able to accomplish so much more in all of our tasks. Again, all right, I'm going to hop off my soapbox. I'm done with that shit. So we're here tonight to talk about Texas eSports. And within week 2, the league got put on hold. Grady said, timeout. Let's take a look at this. And we're going to kind of dissect that and look at what difficulties come up at the beginning of a Dota 2 league, and how to kind of overcome some of those obstacles. For instance, trying to bring in teams and attendance being an issue, and they're interested in playing, it's just the timing isn't really working out, and do they need more time? Should they have less time? And so all I can really say to that is just kind of revisit some of the experiences that I've had with the other leagues, and to share with everybody what works for them and what possibly could work for Texas eSports. So coming up, I may have a visitor. He's messaging me right now. Might have Absan joining me here on the podcast, which would be great. He's helped keep track of the standings for the Austin Dota 2 League, which is the Grand Texan League, GTL. I'm sure you folks have seen me post that around in the groups. And within that group, now that we're on the topic, they are in their final match between Wards and Base and Ember Burning Finger. The two are connecting a date. They're putting together a date and time so they can play their game. I'm calling up Absan. Hey, Absan.
Hey, Pete.
How's it going, man?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Okay. I can kind of hear myself a little bit on your end. Do you have headphones by chance?
Oh, yes, I do.
Okay. Yeah, let me try to turn down my volume. Okay, good. Those are good levels.
How about now?
That's a little bit better. Yeah. Oh shit! For some reason, I hear an echo. Like, I hear myself.
Huh. I hear you clear, and I don't hear myself.
Interesting. Here, let me try calling you on
Wait,
Skype and see if we can
try
resolve it
now.
that way.
Try now.
All right. Do I hear myself? Yeah, I still hear a little bit of it. That's weird. Here, I'll call you back on Skype. Give me a second. All right, well, we're pulling up Skype for him. So the Grand Texan League is in their final match. Warden Bays versus Ember Burning Finger. Or Erupting Burning Finger. And their match is going to be scheduled for tomorrow night at 7 p.m. If you've got availability and you want to check it out, I welcome everyone to come watch this last match. It's the very final. This is it. Closing of Season 1 will be done for GTL. And I give big kudos to those guys for sticking it through because, you know, your Texas eSports guys, they ran into the same shit at the beginning of the league where they're like, where the fuck is everybody? Where did they all go? It seemed like everyone was like, yeah, let's do the league. And then 1 or 2 weeks later, it's like crickets. And you didn't hear from anybody. It seemed like everybody was busy all at the same fucking time. I mean, you know, mind you, it was finals. It was nearing finals time for a lot of folks when that had started, or at least exam week. And we just couldn't get a lot of folks committed to a game to close it up. So we simply just extended the date, extended the deadline, gave them an extra week to complete that week because it was so early on in the league and we didn't want to have so many forfeits early on. They wanted to play. It was just that week wasn't a good week for a majority of the people in there. And it was good. It was, oh, here we go. I think we've got him.
Awesome.
Yes, that sounds superb.
There you go.
All right, now let me get you. I need to get you in here too. Your face up here on the stream.
Oh, you got the people scared now.
It's that velvety shirt. I have to keep put it in there. All right, I'm joined by Absan, and he's been helping out with the brackets, or not so much the brackets, but the standings because we haven't really dived into the brackets format of kind of these amateur, you know, these attempts at amateur Dota 2 or organized play rather. And so, hey, what's going on with you, man? How is your I specifically related to Dota 2?
Everything was great. I was actually not shocked on how the Texas eSport went.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have like it was actually too fast.
Yeah.
I'm not blaming the organizers. I'm just saying like this is what's happened when you have 160 people who are majority of them are like students or something. And to be honest, I'm not gonna mention family or something like that. Like I'm a person whose family comes first, but and I work like 6 days a week. I'm pretty sure that you'll see me online every day. I can squeeze in 1 hour a day to play one game and then spend the rest with the family.
Mm.
And I have 8 months daughter, so
Yeah.
she sleeps. Like you have kids, they're gonna sleep. The wife's gonna take a break or whether
Right.
they're cooking or something like that.
Yeah.
So I don't believe of the majority of people saying like we have kids, we have responsibility, we have things, we all have responsibilities.
Indeed.
When you join up to a league, that is a responsibility. You're saying I'm responsible to play on when the match comes in, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna add Grady to the call. See if we can get him in here.
Hey,
Sarge. Yeah. Welcome, my friend. All right,
Hey,
we're
Sarge.
joined by Sarge from Texas Esports, and Absan was just talking about, you know, just things getting in the way of us with scheduling and whatnot for Dota 2 and some things that have happened to us in the Grand Texan League, the Austin Dota 2 League, that slowed the beginning stages of that first season that we kicked off. So we ran into the same issues early on, and you know, we were sharing how we kind of overcame that.
Okay.
So anyway, before I get into that, I just want to say hello and how you doing, man?
I'm doing okay, man.
Nice.
This 3-day weekend.
Yeah, I keep forgetting that, man. Tomorrow, it's like I'm gonna go into work for a little while, I think, and get some emails hashed out. I definitely don't want to go in Tuesday and have to do some backlogging shit. That would be awful. But anyway, hold on, I'm just gonna. But anyway, how's everything going with you? How do you how are your feelings around the league and whatnot? I might as well let you share while I do some technical things over here on my end.
Well, in a nutshell, after reading a lot of the replies and just kind of taking a step back and seeing what people have to say, and it's I think the idea that I went in with in the beginning, and I tried to approach to make it a fun league, was too lax of I guess parameters to get the final product we wanted. Basically, the idea was this: to get these guys on teams, have them play their games, try to get as many of these games recorded as possible, because content is like a big, huge thing that I'm really pushing for the group as a whole, because people are visual. People like YouTube, they like to see things, trying to get some of these games posted. It's just good in every aspect of it to I guess advertise our product. And a lot of these things got in the way. And I'm going to say this very loosely because it's not directed at anybody, but I don't think we had enough serious people. I think we had a lot of people who were more in the casual side of it, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But I think to get the results we wanted, we should have gone with a way more strict, set of rules, and just kind of get the serious people going first. And then when other people, outsiders, take a look at it, if they want to start something up casual on the side, they can. But, it's just we rolled the dice early, and we missed big time, and that is what it is. We just got to rehash it.
Oh, indeed. And those complications are not uncommon. It's very common when you find a lot of people who show a lot of interest in getting organized play fired up. So, yeah, man, this isn't an isolated thing. It happens everywhere. They all run into the same situations, and there's ways I think that we can, find the folks that are really interested in forming a squad of some kind, whether it's 5 or 6 man, who knows. Don't be afraid to change rules halfway through the league. We had to do it too with GTL. We had to say, okay, that wasn't working, so let's try something a little. Let's adjust fire slightly and see if that works for everyone, or at least a majority of everybody. Because folks who are just in it to play, they'll fucking be there and be like, yeah, dude, this is the game that I want to waste my life playing. I'm kidding. Exactly. I don't consider any moment a waste of life whatsoever. But with all jokes aside, there's a lot of folks who are fired up about wanting to get into competitive Dota 2. I've heard many people very interested in, like, hey, I want a spot on that team. I want a spot on that team that could possibly represent Texas, that maybe has a shot, or at least being groomed to be a contender to go into these, qualifiers for possibly getting into the international. There's no reason why we can't try to launch, a core set of fucking phenomenal Dota 2 players from Texas and push them into some of these bigger leagues and tournaments and whatnot. And, it'll benefit everyone who helps them get that far as well, because not only will it just garner a lot of support for the Dota 2 efforts that we're putting in there, but it'll allow for us to sponsor and host events within Texas to allow folks to be able to come in and maybe bring people on and turn this into a salaried thing, where people are like, holy shit, I'm earning a living playing Dota 2. And that would be balls to the wall fucking crazy for me.
I believe that this is just my idea, but I think the approach should be kind of shifted to this. If people want to have fun, we'll keep it to the in-house stuff. We'll post it that night. Hey, have an in-house thing going up. You want to join, play, great. If not, no big deal. And all the scheduled games will just be dedicated to the serious teams that will make their games that want to play. And that's how we're going to move forward. Yeah. I think that's just the best result.
Yeah. I'm hearing Zach in Twitch chat, and he said maybe we should have a scheduled scheduled podcast at least once a week or something, where 2 or 3 captains can try to arrange to be there and kind of talk about their, that could be up to them. The captains could decide what they want to talk about, whatever the fuck. The floor would be open for them to be like, okay, we want to go over our highlights, or we want to go over our strategy for week 3, or something to that effect. And I think that'll help bring in a lot of activity as well, where folks would be like, okay, not only do I get to play, but I also have a forum where I can discuss, my team's composition, or get some feedback on a new idea that I had, or some shit like that. So I can try to schedule Sunday nights work good for me. This is actually a really good time for me to do this, and we can try again next week. But we'll make more confirmations about that within the Facebook group. If you're just joining us, this is RB Pete. We're discussing league structure when firing up a organized Dota 2 play, and in hopes that you kind of or trying to identify a lot of the bumps in the road that show up early on in the league and how to smooth those out. Because I noticed there's some folks hopping in Twitch, and if you wanted to join the conversation, just add Peter.Perez13 on Skype. I know it's anyone who's in the audience has got to be either in the league or one of the captains themselves. And so Absan joined me, and I kind of want to ask you your opinions on the standings and tracking the point system. What do you feel about having just a round robin opener and then a loser winners bracket after that? The first 2 weeks being a round robin, and then after that would be a winners losers bracket arrangement based on the first 2 weeks of round robin.
In a perfect league, to be honest, Pete, this is the perfect solution. This is the best tournaments method to have a round robins and then a single or a double elimination just to have more matches.
Right.
Our issue, and I didn't want to interrupt, even though what Zach said is right, but our issue is we have to solve the core issue, which is teams are not playing the matches. Everything that we're saying is great, but if we're not having a team, then the entire structure is not there. It's how do you have a tournament when there's no teams?
Right.
This is our major issues, is people saying that we want to play, but it's just they're saying we want to play. And to me personally, we have, as a community, we have to throw back at the captains.
Right.
We have to throw back at the captain and says, do you need more players? Go with your team and see who's not available 2-3 days a week, or 2 days at least a week, and let us know so we can replace that person for you.
Yeah, or help them find a stand-in.
Exactly.
Yeah. Don't be afraid to let someone sit out a week if they're busy.
Exactly.
They'll be able to get back in. They're not going to miss too much. But yeah, I agree.
Exactly. When we went in with the Austin Dota League, as you see, our Fate Hand team was the only team was okay, just tell us when you guys ready and we'll just play. We'll hop in and be ready. Even though
Right.
you've seen it multiple times, people
right.
like Taintless, who's a single father with kids. We had to pause the game to for him to put his kids to sleep, which is fine. But
Yeah.
so we all have responsibilities. But
Right.
I think we should throw back at the captain saying, you need to take in charge of who's in Team 8 we have Courtney. She's amazing, actually. She built the schedules for us, doodle pop-ups,
Nice.
something like that, which shows what time you guys are available to play for the entire week. And
Very
she
nice.
actually sent it to Team 1. Unfortunately, just at the beginning, only 2 from Team 1 respond. And by the time they came in, even it was 2 games, we played 1, and they're like, oh, we gotta go, I have work, or something like that.
Right.
So.
Have you ever heard of that website that there's a website that gives you kind of a week-long kind of a grid of the days of the week and the hours, and you can highlight when is best for you. I think that's the name of the website, when is best, to be honest.
I have an app here. Yeah, it's called Doodle.
Okay.
Doodle. That's the one
Doodle?
that's Courtney.
That's
yeah.
what Courtney's using? Doodle?
Yeah,
I like it.
Doodle.
I
It
like
gives
it.
you the entire week and with all the time slots, and all what you have to do is just press check, and that's it.
Yeah.
Your name is already there, and you just have to check what time can you play Dota, basically.
Yeah, that's perfect. And
And
there's lots of different websites out there that can offer some helpful tools to help build that schedule or get to know some of your teammates. Okay, so we're going to leave that topic. I want to go into another one, and maybe Grady, you can put some input onto this on the way the teams that are formed in this particular league, they were randomly put together. And while that is good for a larger community, for folks who we get on regular schedule, I feel like it's going to be difficult with the way that some folks are available at hit and miss. So what I'm thinking is that maybe we should let the teams that are happy where they are stay that way, but any other teams that come forward, from here on, just let them build their 5 with whoever they've got, and let that, and if for some reason they want to do roster changes or things like that, we can put it up on a podcast and let the captains kind of talk it out on some roster changes they want to make, and not to hurt anybody's feelings, but just to, allow folks who want to play mid lane that aren't necessarily playing mid, that there's another team looking for a mid lane position. Yeah. And they just want to change a little bit of what their role is in the game. And it doesn't have to be about player skill, because we're all developing that, individually, and you just kind of look inward a little bit. What the fuck can I do to change that shit, that feeding I was doing mid to Queen of Pain? Every fucking game. But anyway, that's self-assessment, and there'll be time for that, and there'll be, but here, when we're together, we just got to be encouraging. It's like, yes, you can, you want to go mid lane? We're going to groom you to be the best fucking mid laner we've ever seen. And that kind of attitude, I feel, will allow folks to really break out of their shell and not be afraid to try new things, because you never know. We might have another Dendi in this league. He's playing support as Chen and never had a chance at mid lane. I mean, okay, so this is me kind of glorifying a situation, but those examples do exist.
It's true. It's very true, man. We actually walked in our, like, if you ask our whole team, the first game that we played that you casted, we did not even have roles. We did not know whose plays whose and everything like that. Right. So it was just like, okay, let's try this.
It was completely on the fly. I love it.
Yeah. Which is fun. Like, this is what the league is about, is to go together and have a fun.
Right.
But like, the idea is amazing to have like a one team of, like, we sponsor or go to events or make a living or something. I'm one of the people actually, like, I played Dota 2 professionally, and I used to make a living off of it.
Nice.
I paid through my entire university just playing, like, in Jordan. Like, it's $500 every week.
What? All
There's so many tournaments in Jordan, like internet cafes.
Right.
In a week, like, there's, like, prize pool goes to $1,000 of how many teams joining in just to play.
That's insane. Mustache Geek 6 says hello. What's up, man? Thanks for hanging out with us. So right now, for those who are just joining us, this is I'm RV Pete, or just Pete, or Peter, or asshole, or whatever you want to call me. And then we've got Absan and Grady, aka Sarge. Absan plays as I'm Sorry, and you're on Saturday Night Death Machine, right?
Yeah.
You're playing for them, and you're also playing for Fate's Hand in the Grand Texan League. So we're talking about league structure, folks getting involved in organized Dota 2 play. They have yet to find, a lot of folks get discouraged right away because they've yet to find where a solid group can actually, put together a schedule and be committed to it. And we know that that's frustrating. So we're trying to come up with some alternative plans here, and not making any concrete decisions now. Just, this is a forum to just throw the ideas out on how maybe we can proceed with some of this organized play. So we talked about a few minutes ago about the teams, kind of, putting their roster together. We need a place for them to be able to put down their names and whatnot. That's another important aspect. Is we've got documents created that we can share with everyone else who is interested in starting up their own league as well. Let's not just limit it to the Grand Texan League and Texas eSports. There's if you're listening to this and you're from New York, come to me, approach me. I've got friends. If I can't help you, I'll find someone else who can help you get some organized play going, because I think with the way the prize pools are going for the international, it only makes sense that each individual state or whatever other leagues form up around that are also going to see the possibility of becoming networked within this larger pool of players competing for the international. And I think it would be pretty wild, and I don't think it's impossible to get a Texas team out there. So anyway, all right, I'm going to take a break for a second and let you guys throw out any ideas that you've seen specifically with team composition in the game. So we're shifting gears. We're going to leave behind the league conversation for just a few minutes and go right into 6.84. Were there some things that you have seen that maybe was happening in the Summit League, or I don't know if you guys watched any of the qualifier matches for that was happening over Face It at the Asian qualifiers and the American qualifiers for the international. Anything that you guys have seen that has stand out to you that's become kind of a trend with this new patch?
I haven't watched. Oh, go ahead, Absan.
I just seen like Yellow Submarine. They're so good.
Yeah.
They have so connections, and like between the players, they have such a nice synergy together. I actually did not hear of this team before.
Yeah, so this will be an up-and-coming team, unknown, that has a chance of breaking into this big competitive scene, or at least.
Where are they from?
Europe. They're playing with Navi.
Okay.
Oh,
Gotcha.
wow. So Yellow Submarine. I like the
Navi
name.
and Alliance. So in the prediction, I put Navi first, and then Yellow Submarine, then Alliance, and then Unknown after.
Oh,
I might be wrong, but that's
right.
my prediction for Europe.
All right, Sarge, what about you, man? You got any things that have been standing out to you at all?
Well, I haven't seen many of the qualifiers, so
I'm in the same boat as you. I haven't seen any of them.
So no, not on that front. I don't have too much to give, but I do know since the patch that I'm really struggling with these Queen of Pains and these what's the other one? Not the Undead.
Undying.
Undying.
Yeah.
Undying. They're just kicking my ass early in the game. It's just tough. That's the two that's changed, and I'm really surprised that I'm not seeing more Alchemist.
True.
And Alchemist, and there was one other one that we thought when we did our initial podcast that with the changes looked unstoppable, and we're just not seeing them in the game.
Right.
I think we're surprised a little bit by the Queen of Pain.
Yeah.
That was just kind of sprung on us. It was kind of funny.
It also there's a possibility that some of these things are going to turn out to be pocket strats that have just not been used, intentionally not used in a public setting.
Sure.
Yeah.
So they can surprise people with it later, because I know Fear did that in the Summit 3 in one of their matches. I can't recall who they were playing against, but I know Fear picked up the Clinks, and that was the first time I've seen a Clinks that was using Helm of the Dominator and grabbing, large creeps out of the camp and going hunting for somebody, and then he would basically kill that unit that he had control of to give him that bonus damage, and was just sniping people with this Clinks. And I'm like, wow, well, this is like an old Fear. This is like one of his old go-to heroes that he's trying to bring back, and it worked out for him that match. But anyway,
there's two heroes also, actually. It's been popping up a lot, which is Enchanters and Husker.
Yes.
They newbie, like when they're playing Husker, VG Gaming, they could not even going 5 versus Husker. They could not kill him.
Wow.
That is incredible. It's like he gets to enjoy all that fresh mana coming his way.
Plus the immunity, the spell immunity.
Right.
It goes all the way to like 300%.
And then
so
freezing field is popped. If you don't have a way to stun it, they can't focus her down, because Husker is just going to start killing everybody. So that's like you have to choose between one or the other. Oh, exactly. Man. Throw a Phoenix Supernova right on top of that. See what happens.
Exactly, yeah.
Which do I attack first?
Or Undying Tombstone.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah. So there's some really crazy team fight compositions that are really strong right now. And I've noticed that Keeper of the Light's kind of been used occasionally.
Yeah.
Not too much. The Keeper of the Light doesn't have a lot of the survivability that you kind of need in some supports, because his damage is certainly not burst damage, and unless he gets a Dagon, which I've seen before. I've seen a Keeper of the Light with a Dagon before, which is fucking disgusting. And then so in addition to him, I do look at Alchemist, and I see people use him occasionally, and they do get very high gold acquired per minute. And it wasn't until I saw somebody pair it up with a bounty hunter, and he was starting to get that track gold in addition to the the Grievel's Greed and the runes that he was able to pick up. And he just went carry build, and he was able to give Aghanims to one player, and he happened to give it to Tidehunter, who had Ravage.
Oh, wow.
And so so he was able to pass off the Aghanims over to one of the supports that were allowed him to be able to continue to be the solid carry in the game. So it didn't really hurt his overall gold production. So I feel like the Alchemist thing may pop up again. It needs to be. It takes a lot of skill to be able to do that, and
you have to be like a 6,000 K MMR to pull that off, right?
In other words, yeah. So there's a lot of skill that's required in there, because you need to have freedom of momentum. You basically have to go around the map uncontested most of the time,
Right.
and that's just not going to happen in most games. So that's where the bounty hunter can come in and help, do support and vision. Providing him that additional vision, removing the sentries, removing the observer wards from the enemy team, and the bounty hunter is just turning into this, I'm finding targets for you, Alchemist. All day.
Yeah.
Not engaging initially, but letting Alchemist be the first one on deck to fight, and bounty hunter's just there to provide, some crits and occasional, tracks here and there. The cooldown on track is pretty low now, so
it's a different aspect because we used to these invis players, for example, like Ricky, who's basically an assassin. He's looking for the kill. He's looking to assist people with the kill. Now this is switching to, it's a full on reconnaissance role. That is your job to go and de-ward and find targets for that. And it's just a whole different element. It adds an element of play that I guess you and I would never think of sitting in our little pub matches because. Well, let's be honest. We don't have the IQ level on our teams to make that kind of thing happen.
Right. The plan is certainly. It's, to be honest, in pub games, it's rare when I hear somebody speak up and say, "Okay, here, guys, here's a plan. Here's what we're gonna do," and and then everyone kind of goes along with it. I feel like right off the bat in the beginning, within 10 seconds, there's already a disagreement on picks.
Oh yeah,
and
or lanes or whatever.
Yeah, it's like, no, I want to go mid. No, I want to go mid. It's like, oh my god.
If I'm not mid, I'm feeding. GG.
Right. How about both of you go mid, you assholes, and go fucking
I'll solo top and take that.
yeah. Give me a lane all by myself now. But yeah, it's fun. I like to see that some folks are really passionate about the game, so much so that they will fucking rage quit and start breaking monitors with their keyboard.
Yes.
I don't get it. I don't take this game that seriously. But I laugh my ass off whenever I'm on a rampage or something like that. I will be laughing like a mad fucking scientist over here on my end, and everyone thinks I'm fucking gone insane in my house outside of my office. They're like, "What the fuck's Pete doing?" Oh, he just got a rampage. What? What the fuck does that mean?
These Drow Rangers, she goes on a killing spree. The neighborhood hears that.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, so
did you guys notice how PA died in this game?
Yes.
That actually I liked PA and Bristleback. Once you see them, I believe that Silver Edge now is like a mandatory item, and there's always one person in your team carrying it.
Right.
To just a disable passive. And it's not like Monkey King Bar because it can also you can also go invisible just to run away than just a hitting. Like I see Pia right now die within split a second. So only take 5 seconds for the debuff to be on you and then you're already dead.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's a lot of crit potential that just helps burst people down so quickly. Okay. All right, I'm going to shift gears a little bit. I want to bring up some highlights from some previous matches that we've had with the two final teams that are coming up. Erupting Burning Finger versus Wards and Base. That is the last match for the Grand Texan League for Season 1, and it's coming up tomorrow night at 7 p.m. If you can make it, please do. These guys have been playing many weeks for this last match within the season. The winner of this will determine whether or not they get some in-game prizes. I've got some hero sets in there and a legendary courier that I'm willing to part ways with, and I'm just gonna give it to them. You guys decide who gets it. I'm giving it all to your captain, and you can take it up with him if he doesn't distribute accordingly.
Or you can give it to me for managing the points.
Oh,
Toget.
there you go. There you go. And we'll give it to Absan.
No, I'm just kidding.
Absan will get some
No,
kickbacks.
the guys deserve it.
You want some compendium points? What's up? No. I'm just kidding. Compendium points. Oh, but then again, they are giving out another round of Immortals here pretty soon. I'm not sure.
Soon, yeah.
Okay.
That's one of the things actually I was gonna ask you about. Like the main idea at the end to have like a solid team that can go and do something or participate in a major event or something. So why don't we start backward? Why don't we have a team and post like times when they can play and let people like log in and challenge this team? And based on like people managing this team, we can shuffle the people in and out or something like that.
So how? But my one question is, I love the idea. My one question is, how do we decide who's the 6 players?
Like, who are the 5th player? Like
Well,
5 players?
Well, 5 in the reserve. So
Yeah.
who would be the official team that would get challenged? Like, how do we decide who are those 6 people? You know what I'm saying? Are you talking about Texas eSports?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like,
How would we select those people? Because let's say if we have 2 or 3 people who maybe even deservingly so they think they should be on, they might be upset that they're not selected. We don't want to make it fair, but what's the most, I guess, fair way to select these individuals to be the team?
we can start with like the easiest and simple way is the availability. Like, are you available to practice and stuff like that?
Okay.
Like if we have a really good person, let's say for example, but this person is available, let's say only Saturday night. It's really not gonna work out. It doesn't matter how good you are. We can build an entire tournament around your Saturday night.
Right. That's
Like,
true.
With all due respect to everyone, but like that's exactly before you join in, Grady. I was talking to Pete. We all have kids. We all have families.
Yeah.
Like people who are serious about, let's say, playing, even people who want to have it just for fun. I believe that you should be available like 3 days, like a week, at least, like each day, like 1 hour, at least.
And that's a good point. And that's what I said in one of my comments when I was letting people kind of just air it out and throw it out there what they saw wrong with it. And it was a big long thread, but and I didn't want to insult any people, because like I said, I understand, like you said, we all have families, we have kids, but you know what? I have a wife, I have a full-time job. I'm a college student right now. I have a part-time photography business, and I make time to play a couple games a week.
Exactly.
And everybody's situation is different. Some people just really don't have time, and I get it. But then again, you're just not a good fit for the teams that we're looking for. It's just that simple, It's cut dry. So, I don't buy into we don't have time. If you love it, you'll make some time for it, and we can be somewhat flexible. But like you said, 1 day a week, we're just going to have to pass you up, and you'll just have to play in-house stuff. And unfortunately, that's just how it is. So I agree with you.
Yeah, or sit out a week.
Exactly.
Sit out a week and let us stand it. Play for you. Just communicate that with your captains. If there's folks out there that are running into scheduling issues, just take it up, bring it up to your captain. The captains can communicate to us and say, yeah, we can get another player in there. And I think that was really cool about the initial kind of doing the drafting or the shuffling, the randomization of the teams initially for Texas eSports. And that randomization had that 6th extra player. So, they would have the possibility of a coach while they're having their games, or they'd have a stand-in readily available.
Yes.
And that seemed to be a nice tool. But what I'm seeing is that some of these folks, some of the teams rather, they're either not happy with the players that they have in there, or they have friends of theirs that might be playing in other teams. And you know what? I think maybe you just put it out there, like put together the team, the roster is yours. Do with it as you will. It's the beginning of a league that's just starting off. We just need players to play.
So what's step 1? What do we do from here as an organization? Let's just say tomorrow we throw something out. We set our rules out. We post what's the rules of the league. Then after that, what's our next step to get this rolling?
Well, I think the way the matches are being played, I think might be the best way to get folks in and scheduled. Each week has a final deadline by the time, for example, Monday through Sunday. And Sunday being the last day of that planning week before, Monday it's going to pick up a whole new schedule, or, it's going to have a whole new set of points awarded. But here's your deadline. Within that week window, you schedule your game between the other captains. You can schedule them on these, 2 particular days. I think like Wednesday and Thursdays nights were good for me if they wanted commentary. They can reach out to me. That we don't need to make it too difficult. Just shoot me a message either on Facebook or whatever through Twitch, and let me know what your schedule is for that week, and I'll let you know if I can be there. And it can be as simple as that for right now. Again, it may get a little bit hectic as more activity starts to spawn up. I may get split away and do something, but just communicate with me. Let me know when you guys want to play, and I'll give you feedback on what's a good time for me, and we'll go from there. But how the games are tracked on the standing sheet is a whole nother issue that needs, you can experiment with this a little bit. You can have an opening round robin that Absan and I were discussing earlier, an opening round robin where you play one of the other teams, and we'll put we can put the arrangement of who you're playing is at the beginning of the week, and then after you play that game, you just need to play another team. Any other team, as long as it wasn't the same team that you played before. If you win, you go into the winner's bracket. If you lose, you go into the loser's bracket. And from there on, over the next, 2 or 3 weeks, these are like 4-week-long seasons that are really short and sweet, and getting really quickly to a winner of these short divisions, essentially. You have no more than, 6 teams in a division. And it's kind of similar to how 82L and some of these other amateur Dota leagues are doing it, and it seems to be working out really well for them. Okay. They post when the captains have scheduled the game. They send it to an admin, either myself or Absan or to Sarge, and then we post that date either on the website or on a document on the day that they've confirmed. And
Pete,
yeah.
Question: AD2L. It's a prize pool, right? Or do they just play to? Okay,
yeah, it's a prize pool. Yeah.
How much is the entrance?
It depends. So it's like $13 for the lower MMR folks, and then at the higher MMR ratings, it could go up to like $25 per person.
So this is my suggestions to get the community, actually all of them, to hype up. We start with the idea of the 5 or 6 players, okay, and I'll pay that $13. And we will manage it, and we'll start from there, and we'll have tournaments around that team to people to join in. That $13 is not gonna break me.
Right.
I really want to see this community grows, and we start with like people asking them, give us your availability and everything like that, and we will help you. We'll sponsor the team. We want to see the team getting better, and $13 is not gonna break anyone.
Right. I agree.
As the majority of people say, we all work, we all have families and everything. I swear I'll pay the $13. We'll have the 5-6 people. We'll post on the page, on the Facebook page, asking people for availability. We can manage it, the 3 of us, manage like the team or coach the team, make sure like they're practicing and everything. Let's say like this is from us to throw back at the community. And once people see that we're doing something for a team, people will want to be part of that team, and that's when we throw basically of play versus the team, show us what you got, and we'll shuffle. And there's no harm feeling for even the people at the team. When we have them, we're telling them like basically, just so you know, if we see somebody who can play better mid or better support or something like that, we will have to shuffle.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, I like that. That's as far as you can get it. Either you perform or you don't. I mean, it's real life.
And that's what I mean. Like, and I'm not trying to be rude, but forget about the idea of the tournament. We start from like basically our goal, and we work ourselves backward till we got a good team. If it fails somewhere on like the middle or something like that, we can start again or shuffle the players or move on to a next project.
So before we start paying out any cash, I do need to verify whether or not it's $13 per player, or if it's just $13 for the team. Because I think each individual player does register on the league website itself, and I think that's how they schedule through. I'm not sure if the captains schedule the whole roster or whether or not each individual players go in, kind of like the way Face It has done theirs, where you can kind of pay for a subscription and play, and then you get placed in a league based on your skill level, and which I've been playing a couple of matches in there, and a majority of the folks on there are decent people, and I haven't had much negative interaction with anybody in that community so far. So I recommend it. If you don't play on Face It, check it out and get in there. They do hand out, they do give away prizes as well, even if you don't subscribe to or get a subscriber account. You can still play for free.
Awesome.
So shifting gear, we'll take note of that. I'll revisit this podcast and go through kind of the ideas that have been thrown out there. So don't feel obligated to take notes. This is just more conversation and whatnot. So I liked your idea about just going right for looking for the 5 to be in this team, to be in this group that could potentially, represent Texas, and just start shuffling through players. And it may be, a different team every season. It may be the same team over 2 or 3 seasons. But at least what we'll do is encourage other folks to just rally around this particular team that's kind of going to bat for the Dota 2 players within the Texas community, or from whatever, you don't even need to be from Texas. Absan's not even from Texas, but I feel like you've put so much time and energy into kind of the nurturing the beginning stages of organized Dota 2 play, that you've kind of taken it under your wing despite not being from Texas. So you got a big supporter, my friend. I really appreciate what you're doing. Yeah.
I really love what you and Grady is doing for the game and the community, and that's why I would love if I passed the mic to my wife, or if my family were here, they would tell you seriously, it's one of the nicest game and I'm addicted to it, and and because I used to make money off of it, no one is telling me not to play or anything like that.
Right.
So I would love to see people who are I've been in a situation where your family telling you, okay, you're wasting your life, you're wasting your time and everything. But once they start seeing the money flows, I would love to see people getting paid to
Indeed.
To basically play.
Yes, yeah, that would be fantastic. And I mean, there's kids that are already getting college scholarships just to play League of Legends.
Right.
Yeah.
And but the prize pools are ridiculously large, and I don't foresee that the smaller leagues not being able to get to that point, with the number of just supporters that the Dota 2 community has, so anyway, glad to have you guys a part of it. So I'm going to shift gears a little bit to some of the highlights for Wards and Base, and for before I go there, Grady, did you have any other things that you wanted to add in terms of Texas eSports before I get into the highlights thing? Were there any other pressing things that have occurred to you that maybe hasn't been brought up out in the open, anything like that? I don't mean to put you on the spot.
No. Not really. The main focus is trying to get what we're talking about right now on track. So where we're going to go forward with teams. I've already made the announcement that we have a website now. It's texasesports.com.
Yes.
It needs some work. It's up, but until we have real teams, real schedules, it's kind of stagnant. Once we really start flowing and we get content, it's basically going to be a website where you can go get all your major Dota news, and there'll be tabs referring to teams, contact information for captains, upcoming schedules, past winners, things like that. It's just going to be kind of all in one Texas eSports information highway.
A quick question for you is: if anybody was interested in helping you be a webmaster for that web page, would you be interested in that?
Yeah, right now I won't need that person, but when we start taking off, yes, if somebody's interested, reach out to me, because when the ball gets rolling, like I said, I'm busy too. I have college, I have things to do, so maybe somebody could help me, as a junior admin for the site.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Well, this is the place to put that word out. The community is there, and they're just looking for ways to get involved. If you're a webmaster, reach out to Sarge and let him know that that'd be something you might be interested in. So when the time comes, it'll be great. So with Texas Esports League, I feel like that there could be we just let the captains come up with the days and times that they want to play. It worked for the Grand Texan League.
Yep.
The structure, you could go into the winner loser bracket format if you'd like, Or you could take it into, you know, just play round robin. Don't play the same team after week 1. After we post who you're playing week 1, don't play the same team week 2, and then week 3, don't play the same. You know, and then we can put the list out there. But that's the idea. That's how the rotation can go, and you could just do that for 2 weeks. So you're able to isolate who the winners were for those 2 weeks and the losers, and right there you got a winner and loser bracket, and we can experiment with that and see how that works.
Sure.
Because that's how the other leagues have been going, and it's make it nice and short and sweet. And the sooner they get their match played, then sometimes they're getting those games finished earlier than within a week. If they see a bracket and they're like, oh, here's another, you know, we can get this other game knocked out because the other team is, you know, they just finished their game, and we've got, you know, it's 8 o'clock. You know, we've got a little bit of time left. I'm seeing the possibility for some increased availability with that if they feel like it's more of a tournament style rather than, you know, kind of a sit and wait. Oh, I've got a whole week to get this one game done. You know, and
Yeah.
it's like, God, it's like if everybody could finish their matches within 2 days, we would have a bigger audience already watching these guys play. And that's what we're trying to do, guys. We're trying to get folks to pay attention to your Dota 2 play. But we need you guys to schedule it. So anyway, okay, so I am going to shift gears here. Thanks for letting me go on that tangent. Really appreciate it. So I'm going to go into some of the highlights from back in 27th of April when Wards and Base played against Fate's Hand. So this was Absan. This was one of your games.
Oh,
here.
no.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're going to go and we're going to show this here. And if you guys want to watch it, you can watch it through Twitch. Here, actually, I'll give you guys a second if you want to hop over there. You might have to mute it, though.
Yeah, is that Twitch is a little bit behind?
Yeah, it's got a 10-second delay. But I'll go ahead and play it, and you should be able to watch it from there.
Yeah.
And be able to see, hopefully the resolution isn't too poor. We'll see how it goes.
Trying to work his way out, but the Death Ward is going to pound on him some. Relocate on top of PA while PA goes and tries to do a Phantom Strike on top of Zithkor. Zithkor falls to Zeus. Earthshaker, Yule Sceptered up in the sky. Hunter's going to chase him down. Gets hit with the lightning.
By the way, the screen is
Arc
small.
lightning on him, but the cast blast. Oh, the last hits go to Phantom Assassin with Tiny. Grabbing onto him, Zeus throwing out Thunder God's Wrath. Omni Slash going in. Clockwork, Battery Assault doing some damage here. Blade Fury maybe not able to save him, but the cogs are up. He's going to put a dent in his movement, his pathing. While Fissure as
Called
well.
tech support.
Going to stun a few, but the unstoppable spree
Got
is
the
too
techies
much.
in.
PA, Hunter,
Uh-oh.
and Naya.
Oh, here we go.
So I didn't even get to see it. Absan, where are you? Who were you playing that game?
Let's see. The resolution is.
Oh, the last hits go to Phantom Assassin with Tiny.
We just so everyone is watching, we're playing the team that have not lost a game yet.
Right. Wards and Base. They have definitely earned the top spot.
I think I was Disruptor.
Gonna stun a few, but the unstoppable spree is too much.
Was
PA.
that? Yeah, Disruptor.
Okay, we'll go into the next match. Oops. Here we go. This is game 2. That same night.
Did you change the resolution, Pete?
And the Earth
Yes.
Spikes.
It's a different page, so the resolution's going to be a little tricky. I'm leaving it nice and small.
FC is going to continue to pursue this. And with the Ignite on him to slow him down a little bit, he's still going to engage. Looks like FC might be giving up first blood here. And Taintless.
That's... And this is with my old equipment, I can tell. It's just that mic quality. Oh, yeah. You know, that's unfortunate. Whenever you go back into the highlights, if for some reason you click on the different perspective in the game, sometimes it keeps that zoomed in perspective, almost like
Decent
the first
job
person or
keeping
third person.
Wards
Yeah.
and Base.
So
On
that's
their toes
that's
in
a
the top
bug
lane.
there that I think Valve needs to sort out. Looks like we got Bristle hanging out too close to the tower.
And the Maelstrom. Ricky trying to
And
put
this
some
is the
damage on
game
here
that
with the
they
blinks.
picked Ricky last
Trying to
pick.
hit him more from behind, but the quill spray is continuing to put Naya on her toes. She has to back off, but that's a good kill.
I don't think that's a
Lion
woman.
trying to blow up on Naya.
I don't know why I
Said
said she.
On Zidkor, but not doing entirely too much damage. Calling Blade is going to try to move in, and yes,
Ooh.
there it is. While Billy Bob not in a position to take all this damage from Ricky. Ricky continued to blow up on him while Conway Twitty underneath the tower. FC holding on to him with Call. What an engage. I'm sorry. Oh, he's turning around. Death Ward putting some damage on Zidkor, but he's going to disengage. Conway Twitty putting in the Fire Blast on the ensnare on top of him. He's going to try and teleport away. Back in safety. Zidkor, not sure if he's going to be able to get away. No. Unstoppable spree as Lion falls again to Ricky. While Ricky's going to change targets again to the Queen of Pain. He's going to continue to blink strike on top of him and secure that kill with the Death Ward is up. Pulsing on Conway Twitty and Taintless.
Yeah, I
He's
think
got
Warden
Aghanim,
Base is
and
gonna
it's
win
bouncing.
tomorrow.
Oh, their
kill.
previous game
Thwart is up,
before
doing
the
damage to
finals,
Billy Bob.
it
He's gonna
seemed
blink
like
out the safety
they
while
were a
Hunter's gonna
completely
pursue.
different team. They
He's
were
trying to
really
follow up to save
struggling.
his life. The Calling Blade
It seemed
securing
like that
kill.
they
Another
they
3
weren't
down for
just
Fate's
making
Hand.
the right
Zidkor
plays.
engaged with Naga,
And
held
it'll
by
be
the
awesome to see
snare.
if they were able to
There's
turn this
nothing really
around
for him to do.
and go back to the way that they played before that match, because I just hadn't seen them play like that
Nothing
before.
he can do, and another Calling Blade mega kill streak going for FC.
I think they were giving a chance to R2.
While Conway Twitty's gonna fall to the
Like, you know what? We want R2 in this. We want to let
Yeah.
them walk away with some points. Oh, and a triple homicide. All right, and this next one.
wins.
This next one is Soviet Reunion versus Erupting Burning Finger. And Erupting Burning Finger is going to be playing against Wards and Base tomorrow night at 7 p.m. for the Grand Texan League Finals. And we'll see how this...
She was able to carry them to the victory.
Reserve time. Ready. Well, if you say so. What?
That early charge.
I posted the link for the package on Twitch.
And I'm wondering, I want to see if I had any recordings of Erupting Burning Finger playing against Wards and Base. I wonder if that... I'll have to look through my archives here. And we're watching this from all the highlights that I've posted on YouTube. For any of the matches that I've done commentary for, I typically post highlights afterwards. And it seems to be really helpful for the teams who like to kind of go back and revisit some of the moments where they either did really good or really fucking shitty. And say, hey guys, maybe we can do this a little bit different. When I use Vengeful Spirit and swap Naga into our team and she puts us all asleep, maybe I shouldn't do that. Holy shit. The Soviets. Looks like they're on top this match. Oh, and I got Conway Twitty co-casting with me. And the cheese goes to snipe. I can't tell from my screen. It's too small on my end. And that's a huge Ravage right in their mid. Deep underneath the tier 4 towers. Come on, somebody. You want to give that play-by-play? Go ahead, Absan.
Oh, we're watching Roshan.
Yeah, we have a delay.
Yeah, oh yeah, we just saw the Ravage right now. Oh, double Ravage. Wow. Yeah, when you get caught 5-man and double Ravages and double Shivas, it's like it's already GG.
That's not the first time I've seen them do that refresher on Tide either.
Yeah. And Tide would always get his farm.
Yeah.
He's so tanky.
That's right. And I love how he can farm the Ancients at fucking like level 1.
Yeah, and it's still like full HP. Like
Alright.
yeah, like a quad stocks at level 3, you can farm it no issue.
So it looks like Erupting Burning Finger did not win this because there was only 2 games. So I think Soviet Reunion took both.
This might be the game that I called with you.
Yeah.
Well, let's find out. Is he cheating on you? You'll see in a second, guys.
Will have a Omni-Knight that's coming in. Lich trying to initiate on the Shadow Fiend with the Frost Arrows coming at him, slowing him down. First Blood, not yet. No First Blood, now it's there. Sleeves is going to take it. Also, Phoenix diving in mid lane. Supernova
Oh, the Supernova.
Shadow Fiend.
What do we do? What do we do? Attack that bitch.
Able to melt the egg. Yeah, the egg is
When I use Phoenix, makes me so
Stupid he
happy.
didn't run away. He's at level 1, only 5 hits to secure the Supernova egg, but Husker, he's in it.
Love
Shallow
Phoenix.
Grave, keeping him alive. And
This is the Soviet one, this game.
Yep, Soviet Reunion versus Erupting Burning Finger.
Yeah, that Husker pick.
Lich 2 possibly? No, but he's good at
He was well farmed at the end.
his net worth. He's
You got a Husker that 2 solos, you're gonna kill him and then just shallow grave him.
Yeah.
Axe blinking and calling on the ogre is the easy calling play. Rotations coming in, Lich, he does not keep an eye on these camps.
Even though Shadow Fiend like was way behind.
Rotations coming in.
But you leave Husker farming freely.
Take the sonic wave to the face, but he's just gonna click his way through it. The ogre stuns on top of him, and the chain frost able to finish him off, but he does get a double kill. What's gonna happen here? But maybe Lich will get in range to put the chain frost.
And it's so true, we've been seeing way less Axe in the patch.
Yeah, that's true. I haven't even
Even
seen
though
him
he-
banned out.
Like he is so OP.
Sonic wave to the face, the magic damage reduction. He's gonna go ahead and melt the Queen of Pain. Lich is gonna take the damage as well. Kyoto gonna make. But he's still gonna grab
This is
Ogre.
one of the longest highlights, I think,
Chain
are
frost.
there.
It's gonna bounce around. It's still hitting.
But there's a lot going on.
Sonic wave is gonna go ahead and melt Shadow Fiend. Axe also getting ready to go down. Phoenix.
And look at this kill for Husker. On,
Dazzle not
on
able
the
to
Queen.
survive that engagement either. That's another team wipe. This is the
Blinks, the ult still follows you.
so much. Oh, what a multicast.
Structures have been fortified.
Somebody hit the lottery.
Oh,
Husker with a
maybe
long-range life break on top of Jaw, the shallow grave
split it.
save him, but he is stunned.
Team wipe.
they split this.
God, no BKBs this game. Where are the
Looks like
BKBs?
Dyer's about to take this.
Sunray providing some
I could be
healing.
wrong though. It's not over yet.
RBP.
Oh, and Dyer does win. So
Broadcasting
they
from Austin,
split the
Texas.
series 1-1 between
Grand
Soviet
Oh, yeah?
Reunion and Erupting
showing
Burning
you
Finger.
another series, a best of 2 series.
Fantastic. Now we got professional. That's some high quality stuff there. My quality production over here, guys. Yeah. So as I sort this out, I'm gonna have so many bugs with this guy. So please bear with me. I'm trying to teach myself and how to broadcast effectively using just XSplit software, which is not the easiest thing to do. Trying to teach yourself how to do this shit. But anyway, I appreciate your patience. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me, Absan, Sarge. Please reach out to me if there's any, if you guys got any questions from what I've experienced within the other leagues that I've had some exposure to. And I'm trying to gain as much knowledge as I can about that so I can be a resource for whatever, even if you just need to get in touch with somebody to help you with a particular document or something like that. That's where I feel like my calling is just connecting people with the right folks to help get the job done. And to be
You're
kind of
human resources.
That's right. I am HR. I'm fucking HR over here.
This guy here.
Man,
This
fucking
fucking
HR over
guy.
here. You need to find something. What you need a stand-in for your team because one of your players lost his leg.
Hey, I know a guy.
I know a guy. I know a guy who knows a guy. You know what I'm
This
saying?
fucking guy here.
Holy
In
shit.
in our cases, like, did one of your players got a life? We'll find your player.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh, that's
That's
perfect.
perfect.
It sounds
That is
like a fucking.
perfect.
It sounds like
It's
like
it's like
a.
we don't have a life or something.
It's a mantra. It's a mantra for the league. Like,
It
yeah.
is. It is.
But yeah,
Oh,
Pete,
anyway.
for get back to us on the price for the AD2O.
Oh, I will. I'll go check that out.
I would love to really like help like 5 guys to who I really can see playing,
Mm-hmm.
not 5 guys who like want to be like, not sure if I can do 2 days a week. That guy, it doesn't matter if he's a dandy to me.
Right.
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 Keep him outside of that team.
Right. Agreed.
Yeah.
So, gentlemen, all right, I'm going to close this out. Thanks so much for being with me.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for everything you do with all, tracking all of the data that comes in from the teams. Really appreciate it. The documents that you've given us so far have been extremely helpful. Sarge, I really appreciate your anticipation for things to come. Like, I feel like your feet are tapping on the floor. You're like, I'm ready to see this thing go,
Right.
and I want to help. I want to help you do that, man, because I really feel like that. The fun that you would have within this is really there. It's there,
Yeah.
and we just need to get this thing off the ground, and we're here to help you do it.
And we shall.
Yes, right. Fauchao. We're gonna make some leagues happen, baby.
That's it, baby.
We don't know how, but it's gonna happen one way or the other. We want the captains to provide their feedback, their input. If you want to do like a 2-week round robin and then into a winners losers brackets, put the comments out. Let us know in the comments. Let us know, if you have any ideas of your own regarding, the league structure. If there's something that you like, let us know. If something you don't like, you can also do that. I do have a rule for that, though. If you're going to comment in Facebook, that you make sure it's as impersonal as possible. We're not here to call people out on their, shit that we don't agree with or disagree with. We're just here to talk about what works and what doesn't work. And we make it not personal. We talk about how we can apply like a technical solution to a lot of the problems that we see with these leagues, because it just comes down to we have the tools available to us. We just got to find it. So anyway, I'm done soapboxing. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys, and we're gonna wrap this up. This is the second or maybe third podcast. Who knows? I'm not even keeping track anymore. Yeah, I'm gonna close this out. You guys have a wonderful night, and
You too.
take care, fellas.
Take care.
All right, thanks everybody for being a part of this. I'm gonna wrap up this podcast, this Texas Esports League podcast. And you guys have a wonderful day. I'm going to take a short break, and I'll be back maybe to play some Dota 2. Hang tight, and I'll be seeing you soon. Thanks, guys.